pizza before bed. This just happened literally minutes ago. I'm still standing here trying to make sense of it. I was eating a slice of pizza before bed. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just standing by my desk, minding my business, when loose piece of pepperoni slid off mid-bite. I watched it fall, full view, no obstruction, and just before it hit the floor, it vanished. Not like it bounced or slid under something. It blinked, like a frame missing from reality. One moment it existed, the next it didn't. No sound, no stain, no trace. It was falling, and then it wasn't. It wasn't anywhere. I froze. Stood still for a solid 10 seconds, just trying to register what I'd seen. Then I searched, under the desk, across the whole room. Checked the carpet, lifted things. Nothing. Not a drop of grease. Not a shadow of where it should have landed. And it should have left something. This wasn't a tiny crumb. It was a solid slice of meat with oil on it. It would have left a mark, but the carpet was clean. Pristine. The strangest part? The moment it disappeared, I felt something. Like a jolt through my body. Not pain. More like a brief static surge or an internal flinch. It hit the same instant the pepperoni blinked out. I don't think it was just shock either. The timing was too precise. It felt like the moment was charged. I know how this sounds. I know how easy it would be to laugh this off or blame it on being tired or zoning out. But I've retraced every second, and I can't explain it. That piece of pepperoni simply ceased to be. And here's the kicker. It happened in the final minute of Friday the 13th in my time zone. I'm not superstitious, but that timing is messing with my head a bit. Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and find it somewhere I missed. Maybe it's in another universe. Maybe the simulation skipped a line of code. I don't know. All I know is, it was real. I saw it, and it's gone. Questions welcome. I've got nothing but confusion right now. Did I walk into the future? I used to laugh at those glitch in the Matrix stories. The kind people read on YouTube, full of time skips and vanishing streets. I figured that they were exaggerated, or sleep deprivation mixed with imagination. Now I'm not so sure. This happened to me today, and I still don't know what to make of it. I was heading home after a picnic with friends. I almost bailed because I barely slept the night before, but I've been flaking a lot lately, so I forced myself to go. Glad I did. It was fun. But by 5 p.m., I was crashing hard. I took the metro back. Usually I grab an auto from the station, but this time I decided to walk. Thought maybe the fresh air would shake off the drowsiness. The path home is familiar. Restaurants, corner stores, the usual city clutter. At one point, I always take a right turn where there's a chicken shop. You can smell it before you even see it. Sharp barnyard stink. Right next to it is a grocery store called Farm Face, glowing in white and green neon. So I'm walking, watching cat reels on my phone, and bam, there's the chicken smell. I look up, cages of hens out front, Farm Face next door, same as always. I pause for a second, half thinking about grabbing coffee from a place nearby, but I resist. I need a shower. I need sleep. I take the right. A little ways down, there's a flower shop. They were unloading plants from a truck, big leafy ones, a surprising amount. I noticed it because it's not something they do every day. It smelled like wet soil and green leaves. I made a mental note to remind my dad to buy new plants. Still sleepy, still scrolling, still walking. Then I smell it again. That same sharp chicken stink. I glance up. Farm Face, same glow, same cages, same damn chicken shop, same spot. I froze. I hadn't turned around. I hadn't taken any detour. I walked straight, one direction. And somehow, I was back, exactly where I had just been. I felt it in my chest first, a thud of panic. My body knew something was wrong before my brain could catch up. I looked around. I didn't recognize the people nearby. My ears were ringing from how fast my heart was going. To test my sanity, I turned the same corner again, and there it was. The flower shop, unloading those exact same plants. Same guy carrying the same overgrown fern. Same earthy smell. Same moment repeating itself. It wasn't deja vu. It wasn't a trick of memory. I know that road like the back of my hand. I know where it curves, where the potholes are, which shops have shut down. I didn't turn around. I didn't loop. I just ended up back where I started. Maybe I was too tired. Maybe my brain skipped a beat and stitched things together wrong. But I've never blanked like that. I've never rewound reality. I just hope it doesn't happen again. Building appears overnight. I've been holding onto this for a while, waiting for the right place to share it. I think this is it. So, for context, I regularly take my mom to a medical specialist about 30 minutes from where we live. Same route, same clinic, same side streets and intersections every time. I've been doing this for months. I know the area like the back of my hand. It's a quiet suburban stretch. Small shops, low-rise buildings, mostly 1 or 2 story businesses. Nothing ever really changes that fast. Now here's where it gets weird. This one morning, just like any other, I'm driving her to her appointment. The weather was clear, traffic normal. We were both quiet in the car, just sort of zoning out to the usual talk radio. I turn onto the road that leads to the clinic, same turn I've made dozens of times. And out of the corner of my eye, something feels off. I look ahead, and there it is. A massive 2-story building on the corner, where I know there was just an empty lot. Big windows, new paint, signage already up. Modern design, looked like it housed multiple businesses. Like something that had been there for months. But it hadn't. It couldn't have. That lot was just a patch of dirt and weeds the last time I saw it. Barely fenced off. And that was only 2 weeks ago. My first thought wasn't even words, it was just confusion. This dull pressure in my brain like when you wake up mid-dream. I physically slowed the car, staring at this building like it might disappear if I blinked. My internal monologue finally kicked in. Where did that building come from? And before I could say it out loud, my mom speaks up. Where did that building come from? Exact same words. Same timing. She read my mind. That's when it really hit me. Because, look, my mom is elderly. She's sharp in some ways, but she has a lot of health issues. Chronic fatigue, memory lapses, mobility problems. She usually doesn't comment on things like that. I've changed the TV channel mid-show, and she's barely noticed. But this, she noticed. We both just stared as we drove past. I even circled the block to go by it again, slower this time. The building was solid, real, not a hallucination, not a dream, not a prop or a temporary setup. Full parking lot. Business signs, landscaping. I even saw someone coming out with coffee. But here's the thing. There was no way something that size could have been built in under 2 weeks. Not with permits. Not with inspections. Not with all the external work finished too. Yet, there it was. When we got to the clinic, I tried searching for the businesses I saw listed on the sign. Nothing. No websites, no results, no record. I even looked up satellite images later that night. The most recent shot still showed the empty lot. I kept checking every couple of weeks after that. Eventually the businesses popped up online like they had always been there, but they weren't. I know they weren't. My mom still brings it up sometimes, casually, like it didn't shatter her sense of reality. Remember that weird building? She'll say. Yeah, I remember. And I still don't have a single explanation that makes sense. Time jump. This is the strangest thing that's ever happened to me, and I still can't wrap my head around it. 2 nights ago, my sister and I started watching a Korean horror film. It was late, maybe around midnight, and we figured it'd be something to wind down with before bed. The movie was 2 hours and 36 minutes long on Prime Video, and honestly, it was slow. really slow. After 56 minutes in, we both agreed to stop and sleep. I had college early the next day, and she didn't feel like staying up for another 2 hours. Prime saved our progress, so no worries. We'd finish it later. Now fast forward to last night. It's 3:21 a.m. I know the exact time because I sent my girlfriend a song link right before pressing play on the movie again. It's in our chat, timestamped. I remember thinking, okay, if I watch for an hour, I'll still have time to get a bit more studying in before sunrise. So we start watching again. Snacks, lights off, volume low. But this time, the movie is actually getting good. Creepy, well-paced, we're into it. I remember us rewinding just 3 times to rewatch some spooky moments, which added maybe 30 seconds total, but otherwise no breaks, no skipping ahead. We watched straight through. Movie ends. We're talking about the ending, kind of joking around when I get up to grab my phone from the charger, and I see the time. 6:31 a.m. I stop dead. I literally say out loud, "Bro, what?" I ask my sister what time she thinks it is. She shrugs and guesses. Around 4:45? I show her my phone. 6:31. She goes completely silent. I immediately check everything I can think of. Maybe we started the movie later than I remembered? No, my girlfriend sent me a screenshot of my 3:21 a.m. text. That's when we pressed play. Maybe the movie was longer than I thought? No, my Prime Video screen time for the day shows exactly 1 hour 36 minutes, right in line with the remaining runtime. So where did the other 2 hours go? I've run through every possibility. Maybe I misread the time earlier? No, the chat history proves it. Maybe there was a bug with the movie? Then why would my Prime usage still say 1H36M? Maybe we dozed off? No chance. We were actively reacting, talking, even laughing at certain parts. Fully awake, fully alert. I was engaged the entire time. And it wasn't just me. My sister experienced it too. She doesn't want to talk about it. Says it's too weird. Makes her feel uneasy. I don't blame her. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. I lost 2 hours. Not subjectively. Not in the way time flies when you're having fun. I mean, I physically lost 2 hours that shouldn't be gone. There's no skipped playback, no fast forwarding, no memory gaps. Time just disappeared. I keep trying to rationalize it, but nothing fits. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't a phone bug. It wasn't exhaustion. I've pulled all-nighters before. I know what tired feels like. This wasn't that. I don't know what happened, but I know I didn't imagine it. We both lived it. And ever since, I've been wondering how many times has something like this happened, and we just didn't notice. Something shifted. Not sure where else to post this, but I need to know, did anyone else feel something weird on May 30th, 2025? This morning felt normal. I was up early, made breakfast, and got my homeschooled teen out of bed around 6:30 a.m. to come downstairs and eat. We set up in the living room with our food on TV trays, and I put on Haven, Season 1, Episode 4. It's been my latest comfort show. My kid kept asking questions though, so I paused and said, "I've only seen the first 3 episodes. Why don't we just restart it so you can follow along?" We did. I restarted from Episode 1. Since I'd already seen them, I figured I'd finish the book I was almost done reading. We sat at opposite ends of the couch. Me far left, her far right. I reached the end of my book, hopped on Amazon, and bought the next one on Kindle. But my phone battery was low, so I asked her to hand me the charger. She passed me the cord from her side of the couch, and it reached just fine to me. I plugged in, sat comfortably, and read while the 3 episodes played. After about an hour and a half, I turned the show off, told her to go start schoolwork, and got up to clean the house. I swept, tidied up, and then returned to the same seat, far left end of the couch, to read some more. That's when things started getting strange. I reached for the charger cord again, but it didn't reach. Same couch, same cord, same seat. But now the charger didn't even come close to my side. I got up and checked behind the furniture. Still the same outlet. I even asked my teen upstairs if she switched the cord out. She hadn't. She swore it's never reached that far. Said it never has, and she wasn't lying. She looked genuinely confused. I let it go, but the whole thing sat weird in my chest, like I was being gaslit by reality. Lunch rolled around, and I made food while she came down for a break. Once again, we set up the TV trays and sat down to eat. She grabbed the remote and went back to Haven. That's when the second strange thing hit. The show said she'd stopped at episode 2 and hadn't started episode 3 yet. Except, I watched her watch episode 3 this morning. I remember it clearly. She laughed at the taser scene, commented on how one of the characters was cute, even asked about the storyline. I was there. She was engaged. I remember thinking, she's actually enjoying this. But now, she swears she's never seen it. Not just forgetting, flat out insists this is her first time seeing episode 3. I tried to joke it off. No way, you laughed at this exact scene earlier, I told her. You were sitting right there. I was charging my phone with the long cord that now, apparently, is short again. She just blinked at me. Said, Mom, I think you're mixing stuff up. But I'm not. I remember it too vividly. The show, the comments, the charger working from my side of the couch. And now, all of it is different. I have memories of moments that, in this version of the day, didn't happen. I'm dizzy just writing this. Something shifted. I don't know how or why, but I'm not making this up. If anyone else had something off happen on May 30th, any sudden jumps, mismatched memories, repeating events, please comment. I feel like I slipped into a different version of my life, and no one else noticed. Gone in 30 seconds. This just happened tonight, and I'm still trying to make sense of it. I was out with 2 friends. Let's call them Ned and Luke. It wasn't a crazy night out, no bar hopping or drunken mess. We were just walking around, enjoying the city. Ned had a few drinks earlier in the evening. Luke doesn't drink at all. I had 2 drinks over 6 hours. I was clear-headed, completely sober when this happened. As the night wound down, we were heading back to our hotel. Out of nowhere, Ned says he's craving a burger. He spots a fast food place on the corner and says, "See you tomorrow," like he was just going to grab his food and call it a night. But Luke and I didn't want him walking back to the hotel alone, even if it was just a short distance. So we decided to wait. We walked across the street to a nearby convenience store, browsed for a few minutes, then came back and stood outside the fast food place. From the window, we could see Ned. He was inside, standing near the counter, waiting for his food. We joked about how he probably wouldn't even notice us waiting for him outside. A few minutes later, we watched him grab his order and walk toward the exit. That was the last time we saw him. We expected him to walk out and either see us or head toward the hotel. But after a few seconds with no sign of him, we stepped around the corner to check. The building was on a street corner, and from either direction, the streets are wide open and visible in both directions for at least a block. We checked both ways. No sign of Ned. Thinking maybe he went back inside to use the bathroom, we peeked in. But there was no public restroom, nothing he could have gone into. Now at this point, only about 20-30 seconds had passed from the time we last saw him at the door to when we started looking. That's barely enough time to leave the building and walk a few feet. But somehow, he was gone. We waited a few more seconds, thinking he might have gone around the other side, then finally just decided to walk back to the hotel ourselves. It's about a half-mile walk, all on a single, open street. There's nowhere to hide, and no side alleys. Just one path. And Ned is not someone you'd miss. He's tall, distinctive, and moves like a normal, relaxed person. Not the silent ninja vanishing into the night type. As we're walking and trying to figure it out, we decide to call him. Luke casually asks, "Hey, where are you?" Ned says, "I'm near the hotel." But at that point, we're still halfway there. For him to be near the hotel, he would have had to sprint right past us in under a minute and somehow stay completely out of sight, which is physically impossible given the open road and the short time frame. Then a minute later he texts. He's in his room. Luke and I are both stunned. We're still 5 minutes away. There's no way he got there before us. And without us seeing him, no chance. Then Ned sends another message. He's now defending himself, saying he has long legs and walks fast. But here's the thing. We hadn't even accused him of anything yet. We hadn't even asked how he got back so fast. That defensive response came unprompted. I don't know what happened. There's no alley, no shortcut, no alternate path. There were 2 witnesses, me and Luke, and both of us saw Ned walk toward the door, and then nothing. No exit, no passing by us. Just gone. I've never believed in stuff like glitches in the Matrix, but this, it wasn't normal. And the way Ned replied, the way the timeline didn't add up, the way he somehow vanished without a trace in a well-lit, wide-open area, I'm rattled. If someone can explain this with logic, I'm open to it. But right now, it feels like Ned slipped through something we couldn't see. Foreign matter. Hey, long-time lurker here. Never had a reason to post until now. Money's been tight lately. Last month hit me with some hour cuts at work, so I've been scraping by, especially on groceries. I've been rationing what I've got until payday hits. Today, I went to throw something together. I had ground beef in the fridge, so I figured taco pasta. Easy stuff. I got the beef going in the pan, set a pot of water to boil, reached into the cupboard for some pasta, and pulled out something impossible. A bag of Burkel macaroni, label entirely in German. No English, no French. Just stark black print on a cream-colored bag I've never seen before. I live in Canada. I've never bought this brand. I've never seen it in any store here. I order all my groceries through a delivery app. I checked every past order, nothing. I even searched the store's full inventory. Burkel doesn't exist on the platform. It gets weirder. A few months ago, I reorganized my entire kitchen, moved all the dry goods into one cabinet. This pasta wasn't in there. I was in that cupboard yesterday. It wasn't there. I live alone. Nobody's been over in weeks. And when someone was here, trust me, they weren't dropping off German pantry goods. I looked the brand up. You can't buy it in Canada. Only German export sites carry it. So now I'm just standing there holding this time-traveling noodle like it's some ancient relic smuggled across realities. Maybe I manifested it. Maybe an alternate version of me went to Berlin and thought, let's bring back some carbs. Maybe our timelines brushed past each other for a second. Or maybe reality just glitched. I cooked it. It tasted fine. But I can't stop wondering if I just ate something I wasn't supposed to. Like I violated the terms of service for an alternate dimension. If anyone's got theories, I'm listening. Because I'm officially weirded out.